Hello, and welcome to the Come to Your Senses podcast. I'm your host, embodiment-based coach, Mary Lofgren. Here, we explore how to live bravely and beautifully through a lifestyle of embodiment. You'll hear gems to empower you around mindset, mindfulness, somatic psychology, and neuroscience, as well as beauty, food, style, and the art of slow living to meet your soul through the senses. I am so happy that you're here. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Come to Your Senses. Welcome to the first in a series of episodes called Come to Your Senses Conversations. This episode is titled Friendship, Freedom, and Farts with Allie Monday. Allie is one of my best friends in the world, and I've wanted to have her as a guest on the podcast for years. But one of the reasons I often shy away from guest interviews is because I often find that interview-style episodes tend to center and focus on the person's work and ideas without actually sharing the person themselves. And I wanted these Come to Your Senses conversations to be like everything we do here at Come to Your Senses, where we're centering vulnerability, presence, that state of being instead of the state of doing, and where the emphasis is on having an experience, not just gathering information. So I hope that you enjoy stepping into the tea salon with myself and my dear friend. And I want to share a little bit from Allie's bio so that you can get a sense of her before we even start. Allie Monday is a self-proclaimed hot mess who leads others into vulnerability by sharing her own. She is a 15-year fine art photographer, author, and gatherer of women who desire deep connection through peace and play. Allie lives a life of erotic aliveness through feeling all of the sensations and experiences of the body, not through achieving a perpetual state of Zen. A few years into traditional boudoir photography, she became very bored with pearls and heels and arched backs. So she began inviting women deeper into their bodies and sensuality in a way that felt authentic, not performative. This process is called the Lady Groove experience. She advocates wholeheartedly for mental health awareness and the reimagining and restructuring of one's life through play, imperfection, and realness. Her mission is to unravel from the shame that she inherited from society around her body and sexuality, and to bring others alongside her. Okay. Hi, my friend.
Yeah, let's start it off right.
Yeah.
Hi. So, my roommate this morning, I was telling her I was going to be on this podcast, and I said there are three things that I did to prep for this. One, I took an excellent poop. Two, number two, I put on my red lipstick. Had to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so good about it. And number three, I ate salmon with my fingers this morning in honor of this.
I know you have an affinity for meats, cold meats from the fridge. Every time I eat lunch meat, I feel like I'm saying a prayer of honoring to Allie.
An altar to Allie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
How'd you prep?
Oh, how'd I prep? I also had a great poop.
Great. Good
that
deal.
I choreographed, gave myself enough time to know that it's a real impeder to relaxation, and presence. I had a really lovely chai this morning, and I set up this altar with a statue, like a bronze statue of Mary holding her heart and opening and revealing her heart. And that, I feel like, is something that I have so learned from you in just hearing and watching your life trajectory, but also just in being in your proximity and seeing the way that you move is like this unrestrained open-heartedness.
Mm.
And it's something I so appreciate about our friendship is like, I feel like the only thing that we don't tolerate from one another is hiding.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's anything you'd like to say about that.
Uh, Thank you for seeing that and saying that in me. Open-heartedness is probably one of my best qualities, and just like saying it makes me feel alive and just kind of tiger-esque and also nervous at the same time. And I got divorced 3 years ago. You're aware of this. And one of the things that I decided was to get really comfortable with my uncomfortable feelings, the things that I had been hiding from my own self, so that I didn't have to hide those with other people. And in pursuing a life of open-heartedness, I have to sit with a lot of discomfort of vulnerability and exposure. I mean, that's something that you and I were just talking about in our personal relationship yesterday. And I'm starting to learn how to integrate that, the mound of shame and vulnerability and trying and failing, that mound. I'm starting to integrate that into the system, which allows me to live in that space. And then I've called in so many people, met and have built relationship. We called it in, we manifested
Yeah.
it. And we showed the fuck up,
Yeah.
that consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one of the things so to just give context for this episode, Allie and I have been wanting to do a podcast interview before I even had a podcast. And as I have shared in the intro, Allie is an incredible mentor and leader and artist and inspiration in her business, which is called Lady Groove, where she does fine art photography of an unflinchingly honest depiction of feminine sensuality. And I've been a recipient of a Lady Groove. I just did my Lady Groove a couple of weeks ago. And so there's
so good.
A million things that I feel like I could ask you, but the thing that really popped up for us yesterday was around friendship.
Mm.
And like something I love about our friendship is that, I need to pause. We'll edit this part out, but I feel so disconnected from my body right now. I feel like
Okay.
I'm just tracking, like, what's the right thing? So I need to like just shake and get present
And
again.
don't edit it out.
This is a really good point. That's a really good point.
What do you
Yeah,
need?
like I feel like our friendship is like one of the most fun aspects of my entire life.
Concur.
And I feel like the thing that I'm often seeking in romantic relationships, the fun and the flirtation and the open-heartedness, it's like I get from our friendship.
Yep.
And I know for a lot of people who listen to my podcast, it's like, we want more sensuality, more slowing down, but like really it's like we want what's underneath that is like we want more juice and more aliveness. And
can I interject?
Yes. Heavens, yes.
Well, firstly, I just want to speak to the whole idea of us finding what we're looking for in a romantic partnership, us finding it together. That for me and you, I mean, and you're one of my very best friends, and you've even done a podcast on romancing your friends, and I want to highlight that it makes my life tender. It makes my life so rich.
Mm.
It's like full spectrum when
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you, and we have slowly just unmasked these layers of I don't feel like I'm enough, or I'm too much, or I'm feeling shame right now. Just naming those sensations without trying to fix the other person has really been just a launching pad for me to know, like, this is what I want. And the thing is, like, I'm dating two people right now, and I'm having so much fun with both of them, and it's fulfilling a different part that you and I, or you and my other friends that don't. But I'm so ready to get back to this once I've been with them, because it's just as nourishing.
Yes.
And I couldn't have what I have in my romantic relationships if you and I didn't have what we, this place of play and hilarity and realness, and me telling you stories about duck squatting, walking to get toilet paper because I'm out in my bathroom and I'm just like, God, I wish Mary was here watching me my butt in the air while I walk into the other room. And I was okay when you did your session.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most powerful parts of that session for me, and maybe for you, was when the makeup artist said she watched how you and I were interacting. She watched our tenderness and our connection, and the way that I was touching you and you were receiving, and like the fashion, and just all the different parts of our interaction. She was like, I need to text my best friend and tell her that we need to level up.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
It was.
It
was. And we're just not taught that this is possible. But also there's that layer of shame of like, I can only have this in romantic relationship. Right. So I can't actually ask my friends to hold me like a baby, or to see these parts of me that are afraid, or whatever it is that, however, we're trying to show up imperfectly. And I love that you and I get to do that.
Totally. One of my favorite parts of my Lady Groove was when we were doing the body blessing before the shoot. Allie takes her clients through a beautiful body blessing ritual. And I remember feeling like I couldn't quite take it in because I felt ashamed at having self-tanned. And I felt like, oh God, I've wanted this for 7 years and I came in an orange flesh suit. What's wrong with me?
It looks great.
The whole point was that I'm supposed to show up naked and honest and, and just like all the things that our mind does to take us out of the vulnerability of the moment,
Yeah.
And I remember knowing, like intuitively knowing, all I need to do is tell her this. Like I feel like in other friendships, I might make a joke about it, or I might just not mention it and be like, oh, shut up, brain, or whatever. And like something I really appreciate about our friendship is like, it does not matter what's coming up. It's all just kindling for the fire of our connection.
Yeah.
And I shared it with you. And I remember you just putting your hand on my heart and saying, nothing you can do or not do keeps you from belonging here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, it brought relief to my body for you to say that, because I'm like, the more we're armoring ourselves with these stories that really don't need fixing or changing, they just need to be expressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I just need to get this out, and for you to see this part of me that I'm struggling with, so that I can be more raw. And it opened up such a space. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's been a thing in your mind that has felt like it couldn't be seen, and now it is, and we can move forward. And I think I asked you, what do you need to hear, or what is it that you need in this moment? And you said, I need to know that this isn't the last time that I'm going to get to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just kind of came into that moment and was like, yeah, there's so many more opportunities. And also, maybe the reason, one of the reasons for you shooting that Lady Groove was to come face to face with that part of you that wants to be different, wants to be tanned, or the shame around it. There's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with manipulating our bodies, or I love fashion and beauty and all those things, but that was something that you had to look eye to eye with and say, maybe I don't need this. And I need someone else to see me in that place. I mean, like just yesterday, I was talking to Brittany, my paradox coach, and we were talking about the repulsion and the attraction to being accepted as you are. It's like, yes, that's what I want. And also, when it's happening, there's this like, you mean I don't have to change or force anything or try harder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of that both and space, but
Totally.
And then we made fucking magic.
Yeah, we did. And one of the things I wanted to explore in my Lady Groove was like how to step out of this this way in which that comes naturally to me, and that I've also trained in, which is like sex kitten in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember saying to you, I think I just have to accept that I will always be a sex kitten, and that's just how I am. And I'm not a abstract artist like Kat Beck, even though I want to be. Who's one of our other friends.
Okay, but let me tell you what I noticed in that.
Mm-hmm.
The owning of that space, right? Which you were resisting. I want to be something different. I don't want to just be the sex kitten. But the owning of that allowed you to then go into an abstract art space.
100%. We're going to take a brief intermission because there is something I'm so excited to tell you about. I recently opened my books for new coaching clients for the first time in almost a year. And as one of my beloved Inner Circle listeners, I wanted you to be the first to know that when you join Embodied Intelligence Coaching before June 6th, you will receive a $500 savings as well as a brand new home design bonus called Divine Design. If you love what you hear on this podcast, I invite you to imagine the possibilities of dropping into a fully supported 12-week coaching experience that arouses your desires and floods your life with focused, transformative support. Let's reclaim the life force trapped in the tight corners of your mind and pour it through the unstoppable magnetism of your body. Head to schoolofsensualliving.com/coaching to awaken the magic of your body today. There's two things bubbling up, and one is this piece of expression that I feel like I have seen you model and just like literally like expressing yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. I've seen both of us die under the weight of our lack of expression. And so we could go there. What I also find surfacing is this idea of the erotic as a lifestyle. And I think they're really interconnected. And I'm wondering if one of those feels more curious to you in this moment.
I like the idea of the erotic as a
Mhm.
lifestyle first.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like that's the root of expression anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm curious about, like, I don't know if I've ever even heard the story of this, but um, you have a background in evangelical religion, correct? Hmm.
Correct.
And I want to make sure that was the right word for it. And
PhD.
BHG.
PhD.
Oh,
PhD. Yes. I have masters. I have all the
right,
credentials. Yeah.
right.
As do you.
You, yes,
Yeah.
yes. You were an abstinence educator for a
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
You were married. And, the whole time I've known you, even when you were married, it was like you had this aliveness and this sensuality and this devotion to this raw, erotic, feminine power living through you, expressing through you. And I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about, like, how did that happen? Like, how did you, like, was that always alive in you? How did you get to the place where what was inside of you could be expressed outside of you, particularly in an environment and an upbringing where it was like the worst thing one could possibly express or have inside of oneself, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love that question. It feels good to think about. So I do want to say, I want to talk about the restriction and the shame and constriction. Those are some good stories. And I also want to say that even through all of my trauma and the upbringing that I had, I did have parents and I had a mother who loved expression and
Mm,
who paved the way to be a free spirit. My my dad, he's told me for many years, even though his parents were conservative Baptists, they committed their lives to loving and accepting him exactly as he is,
mm,
despite their vehement disagreement with lifestyle choices. And so my dad also wanted to give that to me. So I did come from parents who had their own shame-based systems in place and whatnot, but also wanted to do things different. I mean, my dad's driver's, like, the what's it called on the back of the car? The plate
license
is
plate?
"You be you, I be me."
Really?
Yes.
That's
He's got
amazing.
this like fancy ass car, and then it says "I be me, you be you, I be me."
That's
And
amazing. I love your
yeah,
dad.
oh, he's the best. He's the best. So I did have a bit of priming
Hmm.
that catapulted me into this. But then my own specific journey started. I was a missionary. Well, I was an abstinence educator, and then I was a missionary. Before that, I had an eating disorder for 12 years, and then I had some pretty acute big T traumas that happened in childhood and in college. So there was PTSD and depression and anxiety, and then on top of that, there was this whole, like, I'm trying to heal myself through praying to death, right, and through
Mm.
being good, and through, like, being the good girl, being chosen. I feel like we are bred to be chosen.
Can I ask a question there?
Sure.
Is, like, when you think back to that version of yourself, what did it mean to you at the time to be good?
To be perfect, to fit the
Hmm.
mold of Christian ways, be a wife,
Hmm.
like, cook even though you hate it, uh, please please another
Hmm.
human before you please yourself,
Hmm.
don't overreact, don't have a lot of those emotions that are inside of you
Hmm. Totally.
on the outside.
And then the bread to
And
be chosen.
the
I
bred to
love
be
that.
yeah, we were so bred to be chosen, especially in the South, right?
Hmm.
And you do that by learning what other people want and trying to meet that place, and trying to not make people uncomfortable, right? You're trying to like, it's control is what it
Unless
is.
you're a controversial cheerleading candidate. There's an inside story behind that, but we won't go into that. Continue. Thank you for that little detour.
Yeah. So I went through this process of finding myself by learning to sit with the emotions that were killing me. I think our pain is such a teacher. It has been for me. So my frustration, the pain in my body, anxiety, depression, all of these ways that I restricted have been a really great lesson for me. And even, I was raped, I was sexually assaulted. And over the 20 years after that, it's been one of the juiciest, most delicious places of learning how to soften and learning my own autonomy and sovereignty, and learning how I have my own inner violence, just like he had his own violence. And it's not to diminish that experience and the behaviors, or to say it's okay, but I've really decided that there's nothing that's happened to me in my life that I cannot use to propel me forward.
Beautiful.
And it's getting out of the victim role.
Yeah. Well, and what I know about you is that, like, I hear like self-help bros. I'll hear self-help bros say shit like that, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, there's nothing that happens in your life that can't propel you forward. And then, but when you say it, it's totally different, and I wonder if you could speak to that, of how it's different for you. Like, and the particular piece that I'm thinking of is the way that you practice existential kink and paradox. And, I was sharing with you the other day that I felt embarrassed about something, and you said, great, feel it, find the pleasure in it. And it was like, oh my God, I forgot that I could do that. I have permission to do that,
Yeah.
So tell us about that, about the propelling forward from pain and trauma and just humanness.
Well, okay, you and I both have a shared hate for over spiritualization. And I think, it's like, I'm never going to be this like Zen master who just sits there meditating softly and quietly and doesn't feel everything. And to me, the erotic life is embracing every single one of those sensations. That is life to me. And so all of those opportunities, because I didn't know this in the past, it built up all of the feelings. I was avoiding them, not addressing them, not processing them. And it's like, oh my God, I had this lifetime of true eroticism inside of me that I haven't felt. So it's like I shifted my thinking from, oh no, I've had all of these bad things happen to me, to, oh, here's some like a shit ton of untapped possibility and potential. So the fact that my chest feels like there's an elephant on it, and that's, like, there's a story of when I first began this process, it felt like there was a snake around my neck. And I talk about this on Instagram and whatnot, but it was like, it felt like the snake was going to kill me. And it was fear, it was control. I was really jealous in my marriage at the time. And he was like, not a person to be jealous. So it had nothing to do with him, but I was avoiding that feeling. And he and I, this was my ex-husband, Levi, we were sitting in the car. And I said, I feel like there is a snake trying to choke me out right now. And then it just, in a moment of not knowing anything about existential kink or how to do any of this, I hadn't been to the horse whisperer in Asheville who taught me how to sit with my emotions yet.
I didn't even know that story. I need to hear it sometime.
But I just surrendered and I said, okay, snake, if you want to kill me, bring it on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done fighting this. And so in connecting with the present moment of this, there's this thing that I think is going to kill me, but actually wants to set me free. It did set me free.
Mm-hmm.
Another example is anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I had those for years. And now I'm such a big advocate of exposure therapy
Mm-hmm.
because it really is, it so often needs a new path out by experiencing it. It's the fear of experiencing those sensations that often keeps us trapped. But with existential kink, I realized like there's actually a part of me that enjoys, that is taking pleasure in these panic attacks. So I went home a couple Christmases ago. You know, family is a lovely thing to bring to bring more pleasure into your body that's masked as pain. And I started having a panic attack. I felt overwhelmed and I started naming the sensations: adrenaline, chest is tight, um, getting smaller in my rib cage. And I asked myself in the middle of the panic attack, what part of you enjoys this?
Mm.
Where is there pleasure? Because there's some part of you that is getting off on this. It's
Mm.
serving you in some way, right? And in that exact moment, I said, you know what? I think I'm a little bit turned on by the adrenaline rush that I'm experiencing. And the hands that feel like they're around my throat feel really comforting to me because I'm used to that sensation. And all of this is protecting me and is trying to keep me safe and comfortable. And it's like I just got cozy with it.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is so
And
different.
then I masturbated to it later.
Amazing. Yeah, and it's so different. Like I know sometimes I will my intellectualizing side and my training in psychology and attachment theory and polyvagal theory and all these juicy things that I'd love to think about and talk about and know about. It's like in those moments I'll be like, okay, well, what am I getting from this? Okay, well, I get to take a break from, being with my family if I'm having a panic attack. So maybe I just need to take more breaks and blah, blah, blah. And like what I hear you saying is the difference in this particular way of being is like, uh, it's just a more embodied, it's like the language around it doesn't matter.
No, we can
Yeah.
intellectualize it and theorize it to absolute fucking death. And you will
Mm-hmm.
go into your grave having not connected to the true sense of freedom.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
But when you tap in to the sensation of it
Mm-hmm.
without making the story, without creating the narrative, or just letting it happen, then shit gets real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was in a relationship recently where I got to really practice not being avoidant.
Tell me.
I've spent the last 3 years of my life really looking at my avoidant traits. I identify when I'm not well, I'm disorganized, attached, so it's like, get away from me if you like me. But then as soon as you show that you like me, or as soon as you show you don't like me, I'm like, take me back.
I
And
relate.
it's comical to talk about now because I've really, really devoted myself to changing this pattern. But I remember with this particular relationship how easily I would cry. And I'm not I cry, but I'm not like, I know people who like, no matter what happens, like, an acorn could fall off the tree and they cry, and I'm not that type of a person. But like anytime I would contact my vulnerability and share it in this relationship, I would just be streaming tears. And I realized like this is decades of unfelt feeling and tenderness that got hidden with avoidance coming to the surface. And it felt so fucking good. It felt like honey just like pouring out of my heart. Even though it was also uncomfortable and exposing and vulnerable, it was just like there was so much pleasure in being real.
It's such a relief.
Yeah.
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 Well,
even when the other person couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
Like that to me is real freedom, is when me being real is the freedom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most empowering sensations or experiences to know that this embarrassment, this humiliation, the rejection, the word no, whatever it is that we feel we can't, or being seen and them not responding,
Mm-hmm.
that no matter what experience happens and how uncomfortable it feels, I am going to be completely okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I can do that, if I can allow, and I see you doing it left and right. I mean, you and I had a situation yesterday where we were talking through things, and I'd be happy to share that if we want. But it's like, if I can show up fully as I am, then I can live my dreams. I can pursue what I want. I can show up in relationship. I can travel across the world and end up in a ball in my hotel room and know that it's going to pass, and I'm going to move on and do whatever the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But because we have the unprocessed, like, oh no, I'm avoidant and anxious because underneath this, I feel humiliation, and I don't know how to feel humiliation. And I think that it's going to overwhelm my system, and maybe it will overwhelm my system the first few times that I feel it because I'm not used to it. But then it gets integrated. We do it through titration. I move forward. Guess what? I'm not scared of humiliation anymore. If anything, I can get off on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Totally. And I feel like, I see you doing that so hard, man. I see you. Like, man, like yeah, I see you doing that so deep. And there was one thing I wanted to say, which was that I heard recently, trying to remember if it was Esther Perel or I don't remember, maybe it was Brene Brown. One of those.
One of the goodies.
Sorry, I can't recall exactly, but they were talking about how without exposure in relationship, we cannot know what it is to be loved or to love.
Yeah.
And that's something I experience in our relationship is like, I know that it's just not an option to have a pee under the mattress with you.
No.
Like those little beads of resentment that build up when I am too afraid to share my own vulnerability and humiliation and neediness, and I feel so loved and so myself in our friendship and so relaxed with you because like we love each other's pee under the mattress.
Yeah.
And we want that from each other.
That's the fear right there. Oftentimes, if I show up in this disgusting, really vulnerable state of being, are they going to leave?
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's control, because we can't truly be loved if we're not showing all parts of our experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you telling me that you're experiencing humiliation, or that this came up for you, or you felt unmet or whatever. Those are just experiences. They aren't like who you are. I know who you are.
Mm.
But I want to share in your experience. And the more work we've done, I'm not personalizing it. Like, can I share a little bit of
Yeah.
yesterday? So you and I have gone through this process of learning how to unravel in front of each other. And we had an experience where you had texted me some really intimate, vulnerable things. And I was in a place where I was just totally maxed out, and sent you a text and said, I'm feeling overwhelmed, yada, yada, yada. And it landed how it landed for you. And so we got on the phone, and you explained your experience, which was, and let me know if I'm wrong, that felt really vulnerable, and you felt unmet by me.
Mm-hmm.
And before, that would have caused discomfort in me to the point where I'm like, oh, I can't talk about this, or oh, this is personal, or oh, I should have done X, Y, and Z. And I just shared my experience. Well, first I tried to meet you and say, fuck yeah, I would have felt the same way. And that's completely reasonable. And oh my God, I feel more connected to you because you shared that with me. And then this was my experience, which was, I couldn't have done it any different at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the capacity to meet you. And I can see how that would have felt really exposing when I wasn't there to catch you.
Mm-hmm.
Look how you made it through. Then we made a safe word. To express when I'm in that place, because sometimes there's a lot going on in my life and I feel overwhelmed and I don't have the space to give back. And so just communicating to you through our safe word, that's where I'm at. I'm assuming it is going to comfort your nervous system.
Yeah. Well, and something I really learned and appreciated from that interaction was when you mirrored back to me the understanding of how it felt, like this idea of like, you be you, I'll be me, is like, you can stand in your own experience of, I was overwhelmed, I was maxed out, whatever. But from a place of, these are just the facts, and I hear and see your feelings. And like, where my reality doesn't negate your experience of what my reality was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you used words like titration, existential kink, and you have a new experience for women who want to learn more and come on the journey that you've been on and learn from you and have experiences of healthy, beauty-filled exposure. And it's called Lady Love.
Lady Love.
I am a member. It's the only online community I'm a member of.
Not another online community.
Yeah. Even though I myself have online communities.
Love to judge other people and then do it myself.
But it's like, in your online community, I don't feel like I'm trying to learn something, better something, fix something. Like, I feel like I'm showing up to be myself and see other people be themselves and enjoy that, and like set an energetic body template for what that feels like, that then ripples out into my life. And so I wonder if you want to talk about Lady Love and share about it. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that you felt like you could just show up and not really have to learn anything or change anything. So we meet once a month the final Tuesday of every month. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's for women who know that there's more and want a safe space to explore. And really, it's not like, oh, I want to accumulate more, or I want to be more or different than I am. It's like, how can I show up and experience more parts of, the places that I'm hiding? And even for the first one, I really didn't prep for it. I made that masculine container of, this is how I want it to go. I want the first part to be an embodied experience. I'm not going to say that we're going to do X, Y, and Z every single time. I'm going to let it flow. Then the second part is the opening up, where we're sharing, and it's organic, but there's that container. Because for me, I do like the feminine masculine poles within ourselves and then within relationship and whatnot. But I want to create the structure and the container, but then let people just be who they are, and let the community be the ones to shape the experience.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the Allie show. Like
Yeah.
that would get boring. I mean, it would be great for a little while, I'm not going to lie, but truly, I am only as good as the people around me when we
Mm-hmm.
come together in community. So I didn't prep for it. We had the second part, which was just gorgeous, real life. I feel this. I have this character who wants to push. And it was so cool to watch people process. Like, I gave a prompt of, I am she who must be. And people were writing that out. And then as they spoke about it, they realized, oh, what I was saying at the beginning was I was trying to perform and please you. And then I went deeper,
Mm-hmm.
experienced a bigger layer of more, and realized that what I want is blank.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Mm-hmm.
third part was, P.S. Remind me to tell you a story of a lady groomer who said that she wants to pay you to have videos of you eating grapes. But the
I'm available for that.
no, I
My
told her.
grape-based OnlyFans. Step right up.
I told her you would be interested for sure. And then the third part is I create a space for women to be seen. So I had these parts of me over the last many years where I was like, I want people to watch me dancing. I want to feel safe enough to be sensual, and for others to just be present for that. I have a poem that I want to share, a song that I want to sing. These
Mm-hmm.
untapped into gifts and playful parts of me, I want that. So I created a space so that other women can too say, yes, there's this thing. So someone showed us art that they had been working on alone. And it's like, oh, well, I'm no longer alone in this because I can share it with people to enjoy. And then someone read a poem and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the container of it. It's a monthly membership. And I hope that it continues to grow, and people get weird and wild and
Mm-hmm.
feel like themselves.
Do you know what I wanted to do, but I was too scared?
Oh, desperately.
I wanted to have the camera on me and be seen screaming and beating the shit out of my couch.
Are you going to be on the call next week?
I am. I don't know if I can conjure it, if it'll still be alive.
If it's still flowful.
Yeah.
What? What do you think? What do you think kept you from not doing that?
Let me see what's here with that. I was scared of taking too much. Mm-hmm.
Taking up too much space.
Too much attention, too much space, too much time, scaring someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there was this other part of me that knew I would be like the rock star of the call if I did that.
You would have.
And I was just too scared in the moment.
So tender.
And then I loved myself there. You know, like I think a couple of years ago, I would have blamed myself and shamed myself, and then probably got on the call next month and done it from like a totally disembodied fuck you place. But it was like, oh, I'm scared. So I'm just going to be scared and love myself right there,
Gold.
not doing it wrong.
Right. Just because I know that I want to do this, but I'm not there yet. I don't have to force. It's like that inner violence.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And if somebody wanted to sign up for Lady Love, for the next Lady Love, how would they do that?
Oh, yes, that would delight me and delight all of us. So they can go to my website, iamladygroove.com, and then there's a page on there for Lady Love. It's a really simple sign up process, and it'll just deduct $29. I think it's $29. Super, super cheap.
Yeah.
Each month, and then they'll get an email with the Zoom link and show up exactly as they are, either in sequins or pajamas, whichever one works.
Mm-hmm. And so it's the letter IAM ladygroove.com.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link to that in the show notes and under this episode, but just so that people have that in their consciousness.
And there are a few posts about it on my Instagram as well. And that's just at Lady Groove. If people want to go check that out, as well as the Lady Groove experience and my artwork. Yeah.
If you want an experience of the realest place on social media, go to at Lady Groove. It is the best. Every time I log into Instagram, I don't have it on my phone, but I go on my computer and I have the thing disabled, like the feed disabled, because
what is
you can like get an app that disables the feed so that you don't spend copious amounts of time scrolling.
Sure.
Because I like to have an automated dominant telling me what I can and can't do with social media, but
into that.
But like a salivating child, when I see your name, I'm like, oh, what did she post? What's in her stories? What's,
Well, now would be a good time to start following, because I've just done 9 sessions in the month of May, and there was just a lot of creativity. I'll be sharing more of your imagery and other women's who just, I've been so grateful to attract really powerful women who are doing shit in the world and who are showing up really, really imperfectly and using their stories and their past lives. Well, this current past life, to show up in the world. So yeah, it would be a great time to jump on board and see some work.
And you are, speaking of the erotic as a lifestyle, you are on the verge of seeing one of your biggest life's dreams be made reality by your own hands.
I just felt like a tickling in my womb all the way up into my boobs. Yeah, I'm going to Asia for 7 weeks. This has been something that has been calling me for 7 years. And I've been denying with all of the excuses in the world. And finally, I showed up with my coach and gave her all of the worst case scenarios of what might happen if I actually live the truth of my intuition and knowing. And she said, honey, you're already living your nightmare. You're telling me all of these situations. Those are not worst case. Worst case is that you continue to stay with this massive dream inside of your body and it haunts you. So please book the ticket. So I booked it the next day and I'm heading out for 2 months.
Damn, that is so good. That is so good. Isn't it so true?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen you do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just not pleasure. It's not as pleasurable. I mean, certainly there are places I'm still doing this, but it doesn't bring the same satisfaction to fantasize about these things anymore. We are women who make it happen. And who know that we can screw it all up. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I'm going to have experiences that I don't know anything about. And thank God I can live in the unknown.
Mm-hmm. And now, I experienced this when I went on my listening tour, which was like, I always had these fantasies of like, what if my real life is in Arizona in the desert and I'm supposed to marry an equine therapist and we have a ranch where we have retreats and we're both in recovery and we can do pro bono retreats And so I went to Arizona for 2 months
did.
and realized I don't want to fucking live there. And I did the same thing in Seattle because, my husband might also be a Northwestern, what do they call those? Lumbersexuals. And I might have
Did you find him?
No,
he wasn't there.
no. And I might have this sleek Pacific Northwest, chic rain gear life that I'm missing out on. And I don't have those ideas floating around my head, cramping my body and my mind because I went and looked.
You did.
And just like every other experience, what I found was myself.
Yeah.
You
inspire me pretty mega hard in that way. And I've watched you do that over the last, I don't know, however long we've known each other, 6 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched you do that. And when you get on, like, I watch you go through the process of, I'm scared. And then you get on the plane and you send me a text and you say, do not ever let me not get on a plane. I am full to the brim with inspiration. And then you come home with these new nuggets and experiences. And it's not a question anymore.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm not sitting alone, isolated in my house, drowning in questions. I'm
and
out.
That's freedom.
Yeah. Even if the answers aren't what I want, I'm on the precipice of going to find my Marin County husband.
Can't wait to meet him.
Who owns a winery.
I'm starting to get your matching monogram towels already. I'm planning my outfit for the shower.
There'll be some eco-friendly towels that I'm sure we'll put on the registry because it's California. But
he will be, yes.
And and that happened. Like, something else I love about our friendship is like the whole reason I'm even open to that dream is because I said to you in the car when we were on our way to DSW on a rainy Saturday, I said to you, if I could live anywhere in the world, it would be Northern California. And I remember you said, then why don't you?
Yeah.
And no one had ever said that to me before. People have always said, yeah, it's so expensive. Yeah, you don't know anybody there. Yeah, it's far from your family. And you just said, why don't you? And I was like, why don't I? Yeah.
Permission.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to. It's just you absolutely do have to give yourself permission to go down that rabbit hole to figure out if it is what you want to do or not.
That's right.
And secretly, I do not want you to go. But love really does let people set people free. And if you go, then I'll come live your life with you at least 4 weeks out of the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll luckily have a bedroom for you on the vineyard.
You will.
Even a guest house. And, even your Aubrey Marcus inspired sacred masculine husband will be invited.
I don't even know if I want one anymore. But yeah, we'll invite them.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you so much.
I feel like this has been like lounging in a champagne bucket, and I just love you so much. And I'm so grateful for you and the muse that you are in my life, and to so many people, even people that you have no idea.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
just really honored that this happened, and I pinch myself at how cool I think you are and that I get to be in your space.
Same.
Yeah.
I am ladygroove.com and at ladygroove on Instagram if you want more of Allie's magic. Thank you so much for being with us and coming to our senses together. For coaching, classes, and community in creating a lifestyle of embodiment, head over to schoolofsensualliving.com. There you'll find a free video series in how to intercept the stress response of anxiety and generate genuine feelings of ease and confidence through your body language. Head to schoolofsensualliving.com/confidence to get your first video today.